Hi everyone, Mr. Everybody here. I had to comment on this video because they're taking everything out of context and they're bringing up old history. It's like, what happened during COVID? The whole world went into a spiral. And what happened in Australia was they blocked off each state, and they did things that other countries didn't do. But the way these guys are talking about it is completely different. So let's have a listen to what they're going to say.
Forgotten the lunacy of Australia's lockdowns. People
Literal
were
concentration camps they built.
they built concentration camps for people who were suspected of maybe being infected.
Did we build concentration camps? We built isolation camps. Yes, we did. How many people ended up in those camps? Not many. But what was happening was we were getting overrun with people coming into Australia, and we couldn't handle it, and we didn't have enough hotel rooms, and we didn't have enough accommodation for these people. So, yes, did we build camps? We did. But how many people actually ended up in those camps? Not that many.
You couldn't leave your house, and you had government workers dropping off sloppy food to your door.
No, that was China. Could you leave your house? You could, yes. But the restrictions became more steady, and in the end, if you hadn't had 2 vaccination shots, you couldn't even go to the local store. But this was extended over a period of time. It was not immediate, and whatever they're talking about, I'm pretty sure that their countries were actually worse than Australia. But who did all of the damage? China welded people into their houses, welded their doors, and dropped off food when they felt like it. But that never happened in Australia.
Because you weren't allowed to go anywhere. And if you did go anywhere, you might get beaten by the police every once in a while, or get
That's complete bullshit. They were never beaten by the police. The only time you get beaten by police in Australia is if you're beating the police. It's like, even in Australia, if you get arrested for anything, the likelihood that you're going to be in handcuffs is pretty low. Even getting arrested. But if you're fighting the police, yeah, you're going to get in handcuffs. But I don't know what countries these guys are from, and I don't know what they've seen, but I can tell you it's not correct.
shot with pepper spray and all of that. They even used the military and had helicopters flying around, making sure there wasn't some evil random Australian taking a walk in the park or something.
So all of the worst brutality.
All right, go and make up your own stuff. It's like, but no, there was no military helicopters up there seeing if a random person was walking through the park.
Videos that I saw during the COVID period.
Yes.
All of the worst ones came out of Australia.
Yes. And then, of course, we had the...
So all of the worst COVID videos came out of Australia. All right. I understand that, people said, well, we made concentration camps. They were not concentration camps. They were detainment camps that we needed because we had so many people coming back to Australia that we didn't have anywhere to house them. So they were basically housing camps. And I don't know where these guys are from, but yeah, throw all your shade on Australia. But I'm pretty sure wherever you guys are from, it was worse.
Bondi massacre. We covered that on here on the podcast.
And now they're going on about the Bondi massacre. You're talking about 6 years apart. So COVID and Bondi massacre. Well, how many massacres have happened in your part of the world? Right? Yes, the Bondi massacre is bad. But how many massacres have happened in your part of the world? How many riots have happened in your part of the world? You know, how many major problems have happened in your part of the world, and you're pointing the finger at Australia? I don't think so.
Where Naveed and Siraj something Akram, I think it was, whatever it was, decided to form a father and son team to go and murder I think it was 16 Aussies, mostly Jews, and injure some 40 people. And so the response to that was to tighten hate speech laws while focusing specifically on the far right and giving Islam an exemption.
Well, so, wait,
Yeah, no, I don't think so. Islam was not given an exemption. But the fact is, who brought them down? So the Bondi massacres is like, who brought them down? Aussies. Now, the Aussie, they weren't born here, but they're Aussies. And they brought these guys down. When shit happens in your country, who brings them down? You don't. Your fellow countrymen don't. And most than likely, your police don't. But we don't put up with that shit in Australia. And now you're going on about, you know, politics and religion. All right? Is Islam a problem? It depends. You know, it depends on what they've been taught. But that can extend to anybody. Anybody can be taught some crap, like you guys are teaching crap right now. And anybody can run off the rails. And you are part of the problem, because you're not telling the truth. So these guys here are not telling the truth. You know, were they in Australia? No. Were they living in Australia during COVID? No. Right? They just got all these reports from Australia. Why? Because Australia is an open society. We are completely open to being open. So we're going to share with you what's happening. Your societies keep everything closed, unless it's something that you really want to share. But so I don't know where the shade should be falling here.
wait, what?
Yes, and I'll get to that in a moment. You couldn't make it up. I mean, if I told you that the Australian government wanted to silence its people and absolutely hated their guts, I would sound crazy, but that seems to be the truth. And there doesn't seem to be any other kind of explanation.
Well, it's a bizarre society, because it should be full of Anglos.
Well, but is it?
Should be full of Anglos. It means Anglo-Saxons. And by the way, I will take offence to something they're about to say, because it's true of all the countries, but they keep on bringing it back to Australia.
A bizarre society, because it was founded with two distinct groups, wasn't it?
Right.
Prisoners and prison guards. So they're just living downstream of that, right?
Well,
All right. So Australia is made of convicts and convict keepers. All right. Let's go back in time. All right. Where did the convicts come from? Where did the guards come from? And not only that, America likes to bring this up a lot. It's like America likes to bring up the fact that, you know, there's convicts in Australia. Well, the people that started in America were convicts as well. Look it up, because England sent their convicts to America first, not Australia. And then when they found Australia, they thought, oh well, dumping ground. But we're not all convicts, and we're not all prison guards. But if you look through the history of life, dumping grounds are throughout the world. So in other words, if you had too many people, you couldn't feed them all, you'd nab them for the smallest little crime and send them to somewhere else, right? Whether it be America, Africa, and then Australia, right? But Australia, the reason why America stopped getting convicts is because they had Australia. So shut up, look at history, and find out. Because America was the first dumping ground, not Australia.
Let's just say that the worst prison guards are in charge of Australia right now, and they're trying to consolidate their grip over the country. So they've come up with a law called the Anti-Semitism and Hate and Extremism blah 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 legislation,
Right.
which allows them to pretty much shut down anything.
That's not true, and there's no such thing as a blah 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 law. So if you can't even name the law that you're talking about, shut up, go away. Anyway, I've had enough of these guys. It's like, these guys are ridiculous, but I just thought I'd share with you how ridiculous they are. See ya.